Hello and welcome to the Untranslatable Podcast. We are here recording episode number 48. Today we will be talking about Christmas markets in Europe. I'm not really sure if there are Christmas markets in other places. There might be, but at least my research has been on Europe. So we're looking forward to talking about some of the different things you can see and enjoy at Christmas markets. I will be definitely discussing a little bit about Czech Republic and Austria and a little bit about Germany. I'm also curious to see what my amazing co-host, my buddy Jared, has to say. What's going on, Jared?
Hello. Well, first of all, I can say there are Christmas markets in America, too. So,
oh, that's true.
Not just Europe. I went to one yesterday in Philadelphia, and it was, we'll get to it. But first, I'm not going to forget it this time. Please follow us on Twitter, Untranslatable1. Follow us on Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. Or email us, untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. Tell us your untranslatables. Some things you love about Christmas. Some things, or not even just Christmas, this time of season, because not everyone celebrates Christmas. Sometimes I feel like I'd be happy to give up Christmas. I'm like, it's like, it's nice, but it's
that's a controversial statement right
stressful.
there, I feel like.
It's also kind of stressful.
That's true. What's stressful about it, Jared?
Gift giving is stressful to me. It usually requires travel because I have to go to Louisiana. So just the process of traveling around the holiday season is always more, just more of everything, more people around. And these days I'm always like, man, I don't want this trip to go viral. Like, you're always looking at someone, you're like, oh my God, I don't want this trip to go viral. I just want to go home.
Right, that's fair. You mentioned gift giving, but I think gift receiving can also sometimes be a little stressful.
How so?
Because if you get a gift and someone's really excited to give you that gift, but you're not at the equal level of excitement, that can be kind of disappointing, But
I feel like,
because you don't want to be ungrateful for getting gifts,
right.
But at the same time, like, if it's an ugly sweater that's really itchy and you're never going to wear it, it's kind of like, well, thanks.
And you know the feeling of wanting someone to like a gift, too, because that in itself, just giving it and being like, God, I hope they like this, that is really what gets me. Where it's like, I don't know what these, like, for example, even like my parents or my sister, who I know well enough, but I don't talk to them enough to know what they're into these days. It's like I don't know what. My sister's in grad school. What would be a good gift for someone in grad school? Pencils.
Well, it depends on if your sister is a pencil note taker or not. I was always using my laptop in classes, so pens and pencils wouldn't have been good. Honestly,
a MacBook Pro.
Yes, MacBook Pro would be great if you're trying to drop the big bucks.
Merry Christmas. I couldn't think of anything else.
I would say, though, an Amazon gift card is always a good choice for somebody in grad school because a lot of books for grad school are going to be on Amazon. Other school supplies, if they do need school supplies.
I don't know her brand.
See, exactly. She might be a Ticonderoga gal.
I have a pack of Ticonderogas. They're great because I for the piano stuff.
Oh, nice.
I love them. They're great. But yeah. Amazon
I don't know
cards
why,
are good, but I always feel it's always a little weird giving like a family member a gift card. I don't know why.
That's true.
I can do it for like a cousin or like an aunt or uncle, but I don't know.
Right.
Maybe that's just me. I haven't tried it, so maybe I should just try it.
I feel you. I feel like
I feel like I should know them better than that, but I don't.
Exactly. And the pros and cons about a gift card is they have the freedom to get whatever they want.
Exactly.
But it's also not quite as personal as if you were to go and pick something out for them. So I get what you're saying.
Right.
I have kind of a formula.
Everyone rather just get what they want.
Right.
Also, my sister just got married. I gave her way more money than I think I should have.
Nice. Well, you're just a good brother.
I don't know who I was trying to flex to, but it didn't work.
Weird flex, but okay. Oh, that's great. That's great. I do have a formula, though, at least for my parents. For my dad, I always try to get him something art or music related because he really enjoys both of those things.
That's what I do for my sister usually, something music related.
Yep. And for my mom, it's always some type of Christmas CD of she loves Michael Bublé, so I got her a Michael Bublé Christmas CD a couple of years ago.
Does he only do Christmas music?
No, he does a lot of other stuff, but I've actually been listening to his Christmas album.
Head.
That's fair. It's an acquired taste, I feel, but so yeah,
he's like
I try to get her a CD. Yeah,
less racism.
I would say so.
I don't know what.
Right, he seems like a nice guy.
Right,
but yeah. So I try to just kind of keep it to those things.
Well, that's
for my parents. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's the same with me too, because as I said, my sister, I usually look for something music, and then my dad's a big cooking person, so I usually find.
I was just gonna ask if you get him cooking stuff,
but I feel like I've gone to that well too many times.
Okay.
Like I've been getting my sister music stuff or my dad cooking utensils, and my mom's always a wild card because she never know. She's always kind of a wild card. Me and my sister split Apple Watch last year.
Oh, nice.
So splitting's always good too. One, because usually my sister's thinking of it, and and two, you can usually get a nicer present, obviously.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah. For my dad, I think my mom actually spoiled him, and he really wanted a pair of the Mac AirPods.
Oh yeah,
he had a coworker that had them and showed them to him, and my dad was just completely enamored by like all the different things that they can do.
People swear by him, dude.
Yeah,
dude. I just got my first pair of Bluetooth headphones for $16 off of Amazon.
And you said it was revolutionary, right, or life changing?
It really makes me wonder what made me take so long. And honestly, they're $16. I mean, they're more like $40 headphones, but I got them on Black Monday, Cyber Monday. Black Monday is the name of my. Never mind.
I was gonna ask you if there was something that I wasn't aware of. But yeah,
I couldn't even think of something to attribute it to. I was like, I don't even know where to go with this. It's not worth it. I mean, but anyway, so I would always I would always have to make sure when I was wearing my corded headphones that when I'm walking around, you have to have it tucked into your shirt. You can't have that cord just floating around. I've gotten it snagged onto so many of my kitchen drawers. It always gets caught on those, and then it'll rip out. That's probably attributed to about 3 or 4 of the 8,000 dongles I've broken in the past 2 years.
Right.
And it's just it's revolutionary, and I feel so much freer. But I also have a little bit of insecurity about being in the city, and I can imagine people in big cities might have to worry about this. It feels very easy for someone to just run by and pull them off my head and keep running. The only thing.
Oh, that's fair. I didn't think about that.
The only thing that doesn't really make me nervous about that is in the back of my head, I'd be like, "Joke's on you! These were $16."
Right.
Even
that's
you,
true.
the thief that stole these from me, could buy these.
Right.
So
yeah, that's true.
So that's the only thing that doesn't really make me that concerned by it. It's not like they're valuable in any sort of way.
I'm also surprised too, since you live alone, you don't use a Bluetooth speaker.
Well, I do have, dude. I have both. I have a very janky setup, but I have 2 Bluetooth speakers. I have one soundbar in full kind of nice that I rarely use because it's in my living room where my TV is. I never watch TV, but then I have 2 kind of portable Bluetooth speakers that I have on a rotation of charging and me carrying around my apartment. But now I also, and then I'm either wearing headphones or I have Bluetooth speakers somewhere. Dude, I always have stuff going on, noise going on.
Right. That's good though. That's how you up your podcasting game. You know?
Yeah, I got to keep up with our competition.
That's right.
These people want to be like us. I also, I'm constantly going to small claims and copyright court for podcast stealing our untranslatable bit. I heard someone stealing our untranslatable cuckoo the other day.
Ooh,
I don't know what
is
going on.
Weird flex, but okay. That's not good. We gotta keep our tabs on all.
I've been going to small claims court and making $5 to $10 at a time every time, but it's worth it to keep those mofos paws off of our what do you call it? Intellectual property.
That's right. That is right. Good call. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, dude. I still remember when I got a pair of Beats with my MacBook, and it was for sure revolutionary. Like I would walk around because I would usually have my headphones plugged into my laptop, right?
Oh, they were Bluetooth?
And I'd print. Yeah, and
Okay.
now they're the Beats Studio 3 or Solo 3. The studios are the bigger ones. But anyways, I remember like I would always have to pause my music, put down my headphones, and walk to the printer to get my papers that I was printing out for class, right?
Right.
And now with these Bluetooth headphones, man, it was just free range, walking all over the office, going crazy.
I found myself dancing more in my home.
Nice.
I felt more secure with myself, you know, now that I wasn't also keeping track of a chord, you know. I felt freer.
Were you popping any Carlton dance moves?
No, come on.
Dang, all right.
I'm better than
That's
this.
my go-to. No, not really. But
so I was looking at this picture that you posted on Instagram today, and or yesterday, whatever it was. It doesn't matter because this is last week, and
right.
And it got me thinking about your Christmas in Kumatov. It's more Christmassy than Christmas in Philadelphia. I walked outside today and it was like in the 50s, and I was thinking, see, I'm conflicted on this. I miss the visual white Christmas, but as someone that drives to work every day and has to deal with snow, I don't miss it in that sense. But I do sort of enjoy the white Christmas, the aesthetic of it. I grew up in Michigan where it was a guaranteed white Christmas.
Yeah, almost every year. I'd say there's like a 85 to 90% chance in Michigan.
Right.
It's going to be a white Christmas. Well, here's the crazy thing. So it snowed, I think, 2 or 3 days ago. And it's been cold enough to stick on the ground, which has been nice. But what happened is it was snow and then it was sleet. Mm-hmm. So now the ground where they haven't plowed it, it's a sheet of ice.
Right.
So I almost ate it 3 or 4 times going to the grocery store today. So that was fun. Got to test my core strength a little bit, my balance.
What kind of winter shoe do you wear? What were you wearing?
I have a pair of Nike. They're like Air Force One boots, if that makes sense.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah, but they're not like ideal for. I mean, no shoes are ideal for ice.
For some reason, I'm picturing. Have you ever seen like Air Force? Like they'll make a heel version of an Air Force One or like a Timberland boot, but it's like a woman's heel. And it's a boot. Have you seen those before?
Yeah.
For some reason,
those are the ones I'm rocking, Jared. Yeah, those are the ones I'm rocking.
I can imagine you having trouble walking on this slippery surface, Chad. Those boots are not made for. Just because they're boots doesn't mean they're made for that weather.
That's right. Those boots aren't made for
walking. They do make your calves
look
look great, though. I'll give you that.
That's right. Over my jeans or my snow pants, but yeah. So I've been wearing those boots, and the reason why I brought those is they're lighter than like I have Timberlands at home, and they're just too heavy to pop in a suitcase. So those were lighter. They're still, they come up to my ankle, so I can still walk through snow. But man, it's no match for ice. That's for sure. And there was actually the lighting of the Christmas tree today in Chomutov. And I actually was supposed to have a choir concert in a neighboring village called Spořice, but I couldn't go there because, I could have gone there, but they canceled the concert because it's been like raining / sleeting all day long. And so my mentor at school was like, yeah, if you want, you can go see the Christmas tree lighting in Chomutov now. And I looked outside and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to pass on that one.
I'll just see it when it's already lit. I understand how lights work.
Right. But the cool thing is the Christmas market is now open on the Old Town Square in Chomutov. So I'm going to check that out tomorrow after school and probably get some nice and
you haven't
hot
gone
mulled
yet?
wine. Well, it hasn't been open here in Chomutov.
Wow. It takes that long?
It opened today. Yeah.
Oh, I guess
open
it is
today
the first.
in Chomutov.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but in Prague, it's been open for over a week. So last weekend when I was in Prague, I went there and had some really good hot mulled wine. And man, the food smelled so good, but we had just eaten breakfast, so I didn't get any of the food. Next time, though.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I had another run-in with a gentleman yesterday. I forgot to mention this when we were talking yesterday. Same type of thing. Guy stopped me, asked me where the train station was. This time he asked me if I spoke English.
Mluvite anglicky?
And I told him no. I said ein bisschen, and he looked at me and I go a little, and I pretended to be a German.
Said ein bisschen?
Yeah.
Do you just pretend to be a German person?
I did with this guy because I knew he was going to do the same shit that other guy did to me. He asked me where the train station was, where the bus stop was. I pointed, and I go to walk away.
Scam.
And he stops me and tries to hand me a thing of cologne, and he's like, gift.
And you punch him in the face.
I should have been like gift, like, oh no, like you're giving me poison, but he wouldn't have gotten the German joke, right? But he asked me like 3 or 4 times. I was like no, I'm not going to take your gift, because then he kind of shook his head and like sighed in disgust and then like stormed off.
Whoa! How dare you?
How dare you help me find the bus station or the train station or whatever he's asking, and not accept my cheap cologne that was either stolen or...
Yeah, how dare he get offended is what I mean.
Right. It was crazy. It was crazy. I should have just ignored him, but he was like, hey. And I turn around, and of course...
They're aggressive. You really got to force them off of you.
Right? Like the first time it happened, actually both times I had my headphones in. So I need to just keep walking.
That's what I would do. I do that all the time.
Let's go into the shout-outs then. All right. So for our shout-outs, I have 2 today. The first one is to an amazing Canadian woman named Lori Cooper. She's from British Columbia. And Jared, have you heard about the story of the refugee who's been living in the Malaysian airport for the last 7 months? Have you heard about this?
No.
So this is crazy. Okay, so let me give you the backstory. So a Syrian refugee has been spending the past 7 months living in an airport, and it was, I believe, the Malaysian airport. So the gentleman's name is Hassan Al-Kantar, and he's 37 years old from Syria. He fled the country as a means of escaping the war in 2011. He was working as an insurance manager in the UAE, or United Arab Emirates, but then they declined to renew his visa. Then he tried to stay in Malaysia, but according to CBC, an unexpected flight cancellation caused his 3-month work permit to expire. He went to Cambodia to avoid deportation back to Syria, but he arrived in the country only to be sent back to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. And had he have left the airport, it would have resulted in his deportation back to Syria, right? So he lived in the arrival section of the airport until he found a country that would accept him. So he spent the last 7 months documenting his life on social media.
Wait, for 6 years you said he lived in the airport?
7 months.
Oh, 7 months.
7 months, not 6 years. 6 years, that'd be crazy.
7 months
is crazy. Yeah. So anyway, this is where this woman comes in.
Just imagine Lori surviving Cooper, off a freaking airport chilies and Cinnabon.
That's pretty much what he lived off of. It's crazy.
What kind of life is this? I can't even comprehend that though.
I can't either. I mean, it's awful, right? But anyways, people in Canada came to his rescue.
Of course, it was Canada. Shout out to Canada. Right, for sure. And Lori Cooper, she saw one of his videos and immediately felt compelled to help the man. And she said it all seemed impossible. I'm a mom who lives in a little log cabin, and he was living in an airport. Cooper, with the help of her fellow Whistler residents, started rallying for Kantar's stay. They reportedly managed to raise over $20,000 for his sponsorship and found him a full-time job at the city hotel. Kantar lovingly called them his Avengers as a reference to the Marvel Avengers, right? Right. As
the Canadians gathered their resources, they were horrified to hear that Kantar had been arrested by Malaysian authorities and was being held in a detention center threatened with deportation. He was there for 2 months until the Canadian government and a lawyer hired by Cooper quietly negotiated his release. And then Kantar says, I did not believe it until they showed me the ticket, recalling the moment he was told of his release. I said, until I reach Canada, nothing is sure. So now, finally, after spending 9 months without a home, Kantar landed in Vancouver earlier this week, where Cooper was waiting at the airport to welcome him to Canada. So I think that's a great story. It's really too bad he had to go through all this. I mean, I can't even imagine some of the stories a lot of refugees from Syria have had to deal with.
Where in the airport was he, living?
In the arrivals section.
In the arrivals section.
Because that's where he landed. You come in, go to the arrivals.
Oh man, see, that's even worse. It's because it's at least you're at least better if you're on the terminal side. There's better food choices over there,
right?
And less normies.
Right, exactly. So that's my first shout out.
That's crazy.
Shout out to you, Miss Cooper, and also Mr. Kantar. I hope you have a happy and healthy stay in Canada, and I hope everything goes well for you. And my second shout out goes out to all of the people.
He's gonna be like, "Wow, it's real cold here." I mean,
right?
The airport was at least had some sort of temperature control going on. What is happening?
Exactly. My next shout out goes out to all of the people living in Alaska.
I saw that.
Yeah, so there was a 7.0 earthquake in Anchorage, Alaska. And thankfully, I'm knocking on wood, speaking of superstitions from our last episode, no one died in Friday's earthquake. So shout out to everybody in Alaska. I hope you all can rebuild and can adjust back to normal life after this crazy earthquake.
I believe it was earthquake and tsunami. I mean, which usually happens, I guess, if you live on water.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's really amazing, though. Yeah, no fatalities at all. I mean, it's amazing to think about.
And that's for a pretty intense number, isn't it? 7 something?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think 8.0 is like the highest, isn't it? Or it's like the record highest that we've ever. I think so. Yeah,
I think the scale goes up to 10, but I'm sure we haven't.
Right.
Maybe we haven't experienced that, but
we might in our lifetimes with all this climate change and everything. It's terrifying stuff. But yeah, so shout out to everybody in Anchorage, Alaska. We're glad you are all okay, happy, and healthy.
Oh God, sorry.
Was waiting for that. There we go. There we go. It's okay.
I'm so off the ball. I went to go push it, and then I hit a different button that hid all my sound stuff, and I had to go get it.
Uh-oh.
And I was drinking tea. I'm sorry.
You're good. So now let's move on to the beer review of the pod. I'm doing this Jared style. Usually I pour it out and I have it poured when I do this, but I'm going to do it Jared style today.
He has self-control.
Couple taps. I'm going to take a sip from it also in the can.
Are you going to tell us what it is?
I was just going to leave that up to the listeners to try to figure it out. No. So this is actually one of my favorite breweries here in the Czech Republic. It is called Khruschev. And they make a couple different types of beer. Jared, can you read what number is on this can for our listeners out there?
Yeah, it says Hryzna 10.
Mm-hmm. And I looked for a translation of Hryzna. Can't find anything. Well, one place I found said control, but I have no idea why you would name a beer control. I don't think that's the right name for it. But anyways, let me take a sip.
Do you know what the 10 signifies?
Yes, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Delicious. So what the 10 signifies is the 10, it's like 10, usually it's 10 degrees, 11 degrees, 12 degrees. And it has to do with how strong the alcohol is. So this beer is actually only 4.2 alcohol by volume. So it's not your strongest beer. And the higher the numbers go up, obviously the higher alcohol content. But this one is just a smooth, crisp beer. It's like a lager style beer. I'm pouring this bad boy out right now into my glass. It's got a nice golden color to it. Really crisp and smooth finish.
Is it a Pilsner? You never said
I mean, see, I'm trying to not say that because
why you listen, Chad, if you're gonna do a beer the pod review, I don't think the key is to make it secretive and keep out most of the information. You're like, I think that the best part is to not say what it is.
Well, it's a Czech style lager, which I think people would also categorize as a pilsner. How about that? Are you happy with that answer?
Chad is sweating over there almost.
That's right.
Is there some Czech guy like behind your camera, like with a gun to you, like, don't call this a pilsner?
He's the one who bought me the Khruschev beer to try today. So I gotta be really respectful. But yeah, let me take a quick selfie for the gram. But It's really good, and this is a mass-produced looking can.
Yeah,
it's red and cream white color to it. Do you see what's on the logo there, though, Jared?
A crown? I see the crown. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Do you have any guesses why there's a crown on there?
Because Khruschev is Czech for the word crown, I would assume.
That's a great guess. It is not.
Kingdom.
Khruschev is the name of the town or village where it was made. So it's the same as the other Czech beer I reviewed, Sviani. So I will tell you.
What is happening here? This is the like some sort of like I feel like I'm in some sort of like you remember Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets where he has to go through like the first they have to play Sorcerer's Stone. First they have to go and do the chess, and then they have to go to the next room and like fight some whatever it is. I feel like I'm going through like a series of like challenges just to understand this beer.
That's the plan. That's the plan. It's working out well. No. Okay, so the reason why there is a crown. Did you ever mention
what the 10 meant, by the way?
Yeah. The 10 is
I remember now.
Yeah, the 10 degrees is the alcohol by volume.
Right.
So, for example,
it's not alcohol by volume. That's 4 point whatever.
Well, right here, Khruschev 10, a pale 10.3% degree draft beer with 4.2 alcohol by volume. So in Czech, the word that they call this is vychepny, is the type of beer this would be, I guess. But it is like it's a lager, I would say, or a Pilsner style, if that's what you really want to hear, Jared. But anyways, let me get to the crown. So there is a reason for the crown. So let me give you a little history. So the brewery was established in 1581 by a guy named Jiří Birka in the village of Khrušovice. However, 2 years later, he sold the brewery to Emperor Rudolf II, and this allowed them to use the imperial crown of Austria as a part of the company's logo. And if you actually look on Wikipedia, they actually call this in English the Royal Brewery of Khrušovice. So kind of interesting, but that is why there's a crown on there. There's actually another beer here in the Czech Republic that also has a crown. But we'll get to that in another episode.
I find it hilarious that you asked me to guess what the crown might signify. What if I just answered that? You're like, oh, yeah, that's it.
I would have told you to hit the ham horn is where I would have done. But yeah. So this, what's interesting though is then almost 100 years later, a different guy bought the brewery. And then after 1945, the brewery was actually a state-owned company. However, in 1993, the brewery was privatized, which then they launched beer exports to the USA and the UK. And what's really crazy is this Royal Brewery is now owned by Heineken. They bought the brewery in 2007.
Oh my God.
Yep. But anyways,
all beer
that's
is
enough about...
like 99% of beer is made by like 3 different companies.
Right. Yeah, you're not wrong. But this is one of my favorite Czech beers, or at least my favorite brewery here in the Czech Republic. They also make a really good unfiltered wheat beer here in the Czech Republic, and you can't find that in many places.
Is that one that you're drinking right now? One that you
No, this one's more of like a Pilsner style. I mean, you can see based on the color.
I was going to say, is that something you can tend to find when you go out to your local Čekárna? Is that how you say bar, or is that just how you...
No,
or is that just that one specific place?
That's the one specific place I really like. No, the Czech word for pub is hospoda.
Hospoda. Mm-hmm. Could you find that at your local hospoda?
Not here in Chomutov. I don't know of any places that have this on draft, at least.
Okay.
Most places here either have Pilsner Urquell, which isn't a big surprise, or they have Gambrinos, which is brewed.
They really push this Pilsner Urquell on people.
I think most people here, to me, it seems like for a lot of Czechs, it's kind of the golden standard.
Yeah, they're really proud of it.
Pilsner.
It's weird. Like, I mean, maybe I'm just not used to that. Like such a popular beer being universally loved like that, or not universally, but like loved by everyone. Because like, I don't know. For some reason, I just imagine that they see Pilsner Urquell as like a Budweiser or something, but clearly they don't. It's the gold standard. Right. Everyone loves it. Like, if you don't have it, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You expect people to visit this hospoda?
Right, exactly. But I do know of a few places in Prague where you can get Khruschev. And I have on my bucket list here in the Czech Republic, I really want to go visit the brewery itself in Khruschev.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll have if I end up doing that, we'll have to talk about it on the podcast a little bit as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But anyways, it's a good beer. I would say this is a type of beer that you can drink pretty much anytime, anywhere, any place. Just kind of your standard tasty Pilsner style lager. Pretty smooth. I would say goes down a little bit smoother than Pilsner Urquell in my opinion. Hopefully no Czechs are going to fight me on that, but you never know.
Gator piss.
You never know. But yeah, it's really good. And yeah, if you want to feel very royal and noble-like, get the beer with the crown on it. Have a sip of a Khruschev. I think that should be a commercial there. That should be a commercial.
A little part of me wanted to be like, do you have some sort of copy in front of you that you're reading?
I didn't, but that kind of came off like that, didn't it? We better send that sound clip to the brewery, see if we can get some.
Oh my God! Why was that the smoothest part of this podcast so far? You're
almost as smooth as this beer. Oh man! But yeah, it's good stuff though. I would say if anybody is visiting the Czech Republic and is looking for some other beers to try besides Pilsner. Pilsner is good, but I would suggest Sviani and also Khruschev. There are also some other beers, but I'll leave those for different podcasts.
How does is there any difference between a Pilsner Urquell in the Czech Republic in comparison to one you can get here in America?
Well, I would say it tastes completely different coming from a fresh tap, versus a can.
So what about a
bottle?
What about a can or a bottle here versus there?
I think so. Pilsner Urquell kind of has like that skunky smell to it, right?
Right. The gold standard.
Right. I think it's worse if it's in
the dankiest of beers. Dankiest. I don't think people say danky. The dankest of beers.
Exactly. I bought a couple Pilsner Urquell to have before I moved to the Czech Republic, and they just were not that good. They didn't taste as fresh.
Yeah, they don't do much for me.
Yeah, they're better here.
Okay.
Trust me, they're way better here.
I mean, I believe
it's kind of like Guinness. I've had Guinness in Vienna, Austria, which I know is also not Ireland, but I've heard from a couple kind of beer connoisseurs that Guinness beer does not travel well.
That's what they say.
And maybe Pilsner doesn't
has something
either.
to do with it, and the longer times of sitting.
Probably could be, yeah. The amount it takes that it's been canned up, and then like I've even had Guinness on tap in East Lansing versus in Vienna, and also I think in Berlin as well. And in Berlin and Vienna, it tasted a lot fresher than it did in the States.
Okay, yeah, Guinness doesn't really do anything for me, but I once again I've never had it. Maybe I've had it in Austria, but I've never had it, straight from the source.
Right.
So I don't know.
So yeah, I don't know though. To me, it just seems like a good Pilsner or even Khruschev. Ideally, you got to get it on tap. Then it's unbeatable.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why that is, but it just makes a big difference.
I'm with you on that.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, why don't you enjoy that Khruschev while we get into some
sounds
untranslatables. The owl never lies.
That's true.
That'll be on a T-shirt soon.
Nice.
I'll start us off. My first one is Icelandic. I really should have. That was really dumb of me. I haven't listened to this at all. Au pizza I skosin. There we go. And it literally means peeing in your shoe.
Peeing in your shoe. Is that like shooting yourself in your foot?
No.
Okay.
I can give you a clue, though.
Go for it.
So, for example, we were talking about how you've been getting some snow there in Kumatov. Mm-hmm. And this I chose it because of the changing of seasons. So,
Okay.
Imagine you get stranded somewhere and you're like, oh my God, it's so freezing here, and you decide to pee in your shoe.
So it's to keep warm?
Okay, I can also give you a totally unrelated example of the metaphor. Let's start over. So, all right, now I got to think of one. That's because I couldn't think of one. Okay. So, as we mentioned before, the Christmas, it always gives buying gifts gives me anxiety sometimes trying to get the right gift. So I tend to wait till the last minute, and no, this is not a good example. Peeing in your shoe is a short fix for a problem, but it's just gonna make it worse in the long run.
Okay, I like that. Okay, I like that.
So
short
it's like
fix
peeing in your shoe,
problem.
like when it's cold, it's like, well, yeah, it warms up your feet for a bit, but now your feet are going to be frozen,
right
after the pee freezes.
Interesting. Okay.
That was a strong bailout. That was a too fast, too furious ejectocito move that I just pulled right there. And it actually comes from it. That's what they say now apparently, but it originally comes from a longer saying, "Pau skamgur var mer au pisa I skosin," which means peeing in your shoes will only keep you warm for a short while, which is obviously same thing.
Right. Interesting. Okay. All right. So my first one, actually, both of mine are Czech. So here we go. This is mít zdravý kořínek, which means to have a healthy root.
Like to be raised well.
I could see why you would think that, but it's a little different.
Have a large penis.
I could see how you would also think that, but that's also not true. Maybe a better translation would be like to have a healthy little root.
So have a penis.
That might be... Okay, that didn't help you at all. So
healthy little root.
So for example, if maybe you have a cousin or maybe your sister, she can handle a lot of stress and she like just never gets sick. You could say, yeah, she has a healthy little root.
Good immune system.
Yeah, more
Sorry,
or less.
I can't get that out of my head now. That's why I just laughed.
You're good. Yeah, it just means to have robust health.
Robust health. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like you don't get sick easily.
Right.
Kind of like the opposite of a hypochondriac.
Right.
I consider myself to have a strong little root. No, but
in all the different meanings there.
No, but
right?
because I honestly don't think I tend to get sick like once or twice a year, and it's like, oh, here it is.
Right.
But
yeah, me too. We're both lucky.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it luck. It's more than luck. Give yourself more credit than that, Chad. My next one is Greek, and it's Isaiata Piniyirira. Isaiata Piniyirira. Ooh.
What does that mean?
My mouth was not built for Greek. You are for the fairs or festivals, festival, fair, interchangeable.
Is that like a party animal?
No, that's funny though. No, that's not what it is. Okay, so for example, let me redeem myself. You're walking to school on your way to Kumatov High, and I assume that's the name of the school, right? And you slip in one of those giant ice patches, and there are a bunch of people pointing and laughing and saying, haha, you are for the festivals.
Okay, so it's like you're a fool, you're a clown, you're a joke.
Essentially. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's when you want to humiliate someone, either laughing with them or at them. You can either use it as like our buddy's a fool, or you could use it, I think, in a more aggressive way as well if you want to.
Gotcha. Okay. Nice.
And that apparently can also apply for things like if someone buys a gadget that you consider, like if someone buys like a useless gadget, you could also use it for someone. Like you'd say,
okay.
So
Gotcha.
there you go. You are the festivals, the fairs. It doesn't make sense in English, but that's not supposed to. That's why it's an untranslatable.
Right. Correct. Do you have any others?
That's all I have.
Okay. Well, my last one is also Czech, and it is ryba ani rak, which means neither fish nor crawfish.
Neither. It's like apples or oranges. It's apples and oranges. They're not the same thing.
Not quite. No.
Say it again. Neither fish nor crawfish.
Yeah. Ryba ani rak.
I have no idea.
So this is when something is very vague, and we say in English that it's neither fish nor fowl.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So if something's really vague.
I'm familiar with that untranslatable in English, but I just never I never hear it, you know? Like that's not in my daily.
I think it's an older
Right, it sounds like something my
person's-
grandma would say.
Right, exactly. So yeah, and I picked that one because I don't know if you know about this, Jared, but fish is a big tradition here in the Czech Republic for Christmas time, and you can actually buy
in Germany as well.
I think so, yeah.
Sorry, you can buy a what? Sorry.
You can buy carp, at least in Chomutov, not too far from where the Christmas market is.
Okay.
So I figured that might be a nice little segue into our main segment about Christmas markets.
Are you gonna have a nice fish dinner somewhere for and like maybe like a with all your teacher colleagues in Prague? Let's meet up for a nice fish dinner.
I wish. Well, actually, I don't wish because I'm not a fish guy. But I will actually be in Vienna over Christmas.
They're on tour again. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess it's also hard to get people together around Christmas time because it's like
right because they're with their family.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But because it is Christmas time, I'm surprised that Chomutov hasn't already got their Christmas markets going because, granted, it is the very beginning of December when we record this, but I always thought that like November is once Christmas starts going. I mean, in the U.S., it usually goes. Stuff starts being put out after Halloween. That's when Christmas starts. But it really, like, it's full force after Thanksgiving's over. Thanksgiving is really just in the way for as far as companies are concerned.
Right.
It's like, all right, buy your cute little turkeys, and then let's get to some real shopping.
Right. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. And I think a lot of places in Germany and Austria, I remember when we were in Vienna, the Christmas markets came up end of November.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense, though. So I did go to the Christmas market here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, how was it? What'd you see? What'd you do?
Very nice as far as where it is. So it's where is it located? I know where it is, like as in I know exactly how to get there, but I don't even know where it's technically considered. Oh, it's located at Love Park, which is
That's where that famous Love thingy is, right?
I don't know
in
if
Philly?
it is. Maybe I didn't go to the right Christmas. Hold on, I'm literally about to Google Love Park because I'm not sure where that actually is. Oh yeah, the Love is there, but I don't know where that is. Huh? It is there. Oh, well, I went to the wrong Christmas market. But to be fair,
That's all right.
To be fair, here's two things. This is hilarious. Two things. One, it was raining, so I didn't have that much time anyway. And two, I did go to a Christmas market. Where I went, there was Christmas stuff, and there was things that were because I was looking at the list of vendors because I Googled it after I got back, and I was like, I didn't see all this stuff. I was like, there was not enough space for all these things you guys are listing. It's because I didn't go to the Christmas market. That's why. And
now it all makes sense.
But where I did go, wherever it was, now let me see if I can figure out where I did go. Because it was on Broad Street and not JFK. I don't know streets that well.
No, I've never been to Philly, so I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Tell me about Prague's Christmas market.
So the Christmas markets I went to were at Wenceslas Square, which is probably one of the most famous places in Prague. And what's interesting is I found out from a student of mine that you know how Americans will say like it's so and so football fields long?
Right.
Well, in the Czech Republic, they'll say it's so and so Wenceslas Squares.
Really?
Which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome.
That in itself is untranslatable.
Right. But
Wenceslas, yeah, so how big is Wenceslas Square?
Like is it? I would say pretty close to the size of a football field, maybe.
Okay, I guess that's fair. Makes sense.
Somewhere around there.
That's pretty big that's a lot of space for a Christmas market.
Well, I mean, it was only maybe a third of the entire square.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't the entire square. And they had, it reminded me a lot of Germany and Austria. They had the little wooden stands with different like foods. They had, of course, your mulled wine. They also had this like hot honey wine. They had klobasa, which is Czech sausage. It's kind of like it's a little different than bratwurst, but it's still like a sausage. They had, of course, your roasted almonds, and of course, you can't go without your mulled wine. And they also had some interesting like hot honey wine, which I didn't try, but that's on the list of things to try.
Hot honey wine. Is there booze in it?
I would assume so, but I'm not sure.
Okay, why would you assume so? Just because
it's called hot honey wine? It's got the word wine in it. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Do you find yourself getting into the Christmas spirit?
I would say now after it snowed and I see people's lights on their houses.
But I mean, in general, not even just now. Just like, do you get excited for the Christmas time, or are you like, oh, now do you crack out your favorite Christmas songs? Do you wear more red? And do you,
I don't change my wardrobe. I do listen to some Christmas music. I was listening to some really good Christmas jazz songs. And I wasn't talking about Michael Bublé there, but yesterday I was listening to some Michael Bublé. Today I was listening to a couple different jazz guitarists that had some really nice Christmas music. I don't know. I think the older I get, I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but the less excited I get about it. I remember being a kid, and maybe it was like this for you too, just getting all giddy for Christmas.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but that's just when you have no responsibility except for getting gifts.
Right. And you still believe Santa is real.
Yeah. That's true. The Christmas music's just gotten old for me. It all kind of sounds the same at this point. Like, I don't mind Christmas. You know, what I like more about Christmas now is not the Christmas music. It's not the gifts. It's not the Christmas tree or the lights. I think I'm starting to appreciate my family the older I get.
Yeah, and, same here.
And the older I get, the older the old people in my family get too. And it's like, wow, once you start losing a couple of them, you start to appreciate them more. It's like, oh, this is some real old person stuff. I mean, but it's also just his growth as a person. But it's like, this is what the holidays are about. It's like, I'd happily give up all that. I mean, more than happily, I'd beg to give up all that gift exchange stuff. I actually still haven't bought my ticket to go to Louisiana. I'm planning, dude. This freaking price alert is a gamble. It is a gamble. Oh my God.
Well, I hope you get a good price, man.
Thanks, Chad. Thanks. Me too. Me too.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think now it's definitely more about family. I'm really looking forward to see my parents come Christmas. That'll be great. And get to travel around with them. And yeah, I don't know. I think when I was younger, it was more about being with my parents, but also the gifts. And now the last couple of years, my mom has been like, well, what do you want? And I don't really know. So I have to like make a list of like a bunch of little things.
Right. Ticonderoga pencils and stuff.
Exactly. I still remember though, I was talking to a student of mine. I still remember that Christmas when I was 10 years old and I got an electric guitar for Christmas.
Oh, I can imagine that being was that your first electric guitar?
Yep, that was.
I can imagine that being a powerful moment. Did your parents regret it immediately, like because you were just shredding away, not knowing what you were doing?
Not really, because so this is actually what's crazy is my mom ordered it ordered the guitar and the amplifier. It was like a set, right? Guitar, amplifier, and a little case.
What kind of guitar was it?
I couldn't even tell you, and this is why. So we ordered the guitar from Sears. It might have been a Yamaha, but I could be wrong.
Shout out to Sears.
Well,
Still
here's
hanging
the thing.
on just by a thread at this point.
Here's the thing. The guitar, not the guitar, the amp didn't work.
Mm-hmm. So you got a free refrigerator.
So right. So the amplifier didn't work. The guitar looked really cool, but it was like a children's guitar. And so we took the guitar into this guitar shop that was suggested by a family friend of ours, and we went in and we met the guy who ended up being my future guitar teacher, and he looked at the guitar and he said, he's 10 years old. In a couple of years, this guitar is going to be too small for him. You might as well just get him a full size guitar and have him learn.
Oh, that's why you like this guy so much.
So
you're like, yeah, he makes a good point. I agree with him. We should do that.
So I got the name of the brand was called Austin, and it was a Stratocaster copy, so like the same type of guitar Jimi Hendrix would play, right? A Stratocaster, right? And it was black, and played it for a couple of years, and then upgraded it to a different guitar, and so the cycle continues.
Right, and that was what 10 guitars ago at this point.
Probably more than that, but yeah. And so, but I still remember the excitement coming downstairs and seeing what this big gift wrapped up, and I was like, that has to be a guitar. That has to be a guitar.
Oh yeah. So you had asked for it. You knew you wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously you knew you wanted it, but like, man, that almost sounds like the Christmas Story movie, where it's like the BB gun.
Right. That's true.
Careful, you'll blow your ears out, son.
Thankfully, I wasn't wearing a bunny costume, but yeah. So that was cool. But the older I get, the less it's about presents. I do really look forward though to exchanging gifts with my niece and my nephews.
Yeah, but
because
they're kids,
I do like
right?
to see and I like to see the look on their faces when I get them stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. But anyways,
did you know that the first Christmas market? Do you know Christmas markets started in Germany?
They actually didn't.
Where did they start? Oh my God!
They started in Vienna, Austria.
When did they start in Vienna, Austria?
Well, it was first recorded in 1298.
Ooh. I was really hoping you'd say something that was going to be after my date, so I could do a full on your ass.
What date do you have?
I have Munich in 1310.
Okay. Beat you by what, 12 years?
What'd you say?
Vienna, 1298.
Yeah, there you go.
And this was when the citizens were granted permission to hold a Krippenmarkt, which Krippen are the Christmas cookies.
A Kripp sponsor Christmas market.
Thankfully, I don't think it was that, but yeah. So they had that market.
Wear your blue. Don't wear any red. Wear your blue.
That's true. But then it's interestingly enough,
it's a blue Christmas, everyone.
According to my source, which is from The Guardian, they say that in Germany the first Christmas market took place in 1384.
Ooh, see, I have. I don't have my source because I copied and pasted it, but I wish I did. If I didn't realize I was gonna be so challenged. Anyway, I think we can. All right, listen. To be fair, either way, I don't care. What we can agree on is that it was generally anywhere between the 1200s to the 1400s.
Correct. Oh,
somewhere
yeah, for
between
sure.
there.
Definitely.
Which is a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
What are some Christmas markets you've been to around that have really stuck out to you?
Oh man, well, I really like the Christmas market in Angiel in Prague.
Okay.
Also, the one in Wenceslas Square was pretty cool. I need to do more exploring in Prague, which I will be doing in a few weeks. So
you go to Prague like every other week, and you haven't. What are you doing there if you're not exploring?
I mean, I am exploring, but the Christmas markets weren't up yet.
Have we still? We still have not done an on the road again in Prague.
We haven't.
But apparently, you haven't even explored it before.
Well, I'm waiting to get the most expert intel on Prague because I don't want to give our listeners the typical touristy things in Prague.
Okay. We might need to have a professional join us.
Yeah.
So I think we professional.
Do. I think we do. But yeah, anyways, my favorite one in Vienna, though, was probably at the museum. The one by the Rathaus was also really nice.
What museum? That's
I think the Museum of Modern Art, and also the
what city is this in?
Vienna, in Vienna.
Okay.
But I also really like the one at the Rathaus in Vienna, especially at night because they light up the Rathaus. It looks really beautiful. But the one at the Rathaus was way busier than the one at the museum. And the one at the museum, it seemed like it was more like younger people, college-age people there. So yeah, and I still have all my mugs from drinking punch because, it was like €1 deposit, or you just don't bring the mug back and you keep it.
But they were just normal mugs. They're literally just like mugs you can get at a diner.
But they have like a cool little logo on them.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to keep those, but I'm like, how am I going to bring these back? Like, it's not worth it to me to bring them back.
Right. I think I brought back like 3 of them.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, I remember going to in Dusseldorf, where I lived when I was a boy. When I was a
Heshke Kluk.
I was that was a good one. I remember the punch. I only had it a couple times, maybe once or twice, because I left when I was 15, so I never really went hard at the punch.
Did you in Austria when you were in Vienna?
Yeah, but it's not like it's one of those like 'tis the season while you're in, but it's just very for its time and season and place. And it's just, I think part of what makes it so great is because you're probably sitting or standing outside, and it's nice to have something to wrap your hands around.
How would you describe punch to our listeners out there who have never tried it?
It's like almost like a mix between like tea and juice, maybe, and it's heated. And it's like very fruity. It has like is it rum in there too? Is that what it is?
I think usually rum, yeah.
Or there's also Glühwein, which is heated wine, or as people call it, mulled wine. Apparently, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the one here in Philadelphia, we did have. They are trying to I believe they did have a Duna stand. I did not get it because I ate. I know. You
gotta go back there and try it.
I will. I need to go back when it's not raining, because it was raining, and it's raining today as well. And I also need to go back there when I'm not. I was kind of stuffed at the time. They have, as they call it, mulled wine. Mm-hmm. Mulled wine does not sound as good as
Glühwein.
Yeah, and they also have a slew of various, independent little jewelry and art and. Knickknacks. Would you call? I'd call them knickknacks. Knickknacks is the best.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Although I will say, speaking of gifts from Vienna's Christmas, the one that's in front of the Natural History Museum in Vienna. Mm-hmm. From that one, I got a cutting board for my dad.
Nice.
And that's a great thing. That's very easy to travel with.
Right.
And that's just speaking of the cooking gifts. But yeah, so I do like what they're doing, and I really do need to actually go back. I can't believe I didn't even go to the freaking Christmas market.
the one that you thought you were going to.
Yeah, there's so much less I have to say on it now. But I do, and I think that there's also I'm betting that there's also going to be a lot of a heavy Pennsylvania Dutch influence. I'm sure a lot of
that would make sense.
I'm sure are going to strap up the horse and carriage and go on a
road trip.
Yeah, I'm sure they left last month to make it from Lancaster to Pennsylvania in time, which is only an hour and a half drive. But those carriages are rickety. I've seen them in action.
Right. That's cool though. Yeah, you'll have to go back and try it and give me an update.
Yeah, I'm almost nervous to try the Duna because I feel like I'm just gonna be pissed.
You got authentic expectations being in Germany and Austria.
I've tried one of my favorite. Speaking of which, one of my favorite one of the things I love so much about the German, but whether it be Vienna or German Christmas markets is the Spätzle. That is
it's so good.
That is a perfect market kind of snack. It's perfect in snack form and it's delicious. I don't even know how to explain what that is. But
Spätzle are like egg noodles.
Okay, well there you go.
Sometimes with caramelized onions on top. Usually,
or
my
ham.
favorite is with the cheese.
Yeah,
some Käsespätzle. Oh yeah,
or ham or bacon or something in there too. They'll do
right. Oh, it's delicious.
I'm a big fan of those.
One thing that I really want to try at Czech Christmas markets is it's a dish called halušky. And what halušky is, it's like a potato gnocchi, I believe, with ham or bacon and then sauerkraut. It sounds like, or some type of like cabbage.
Okay.
And so I really want to try that because a few of my students said when you go to Christmas markets, you have to try it. So
I would like to give you a list of some snacks from Christmas markets around the world, some sort of customary to different countries, and see. Give me
guess.
Give me either a or a.
Sounds good.
So the first one's from our friends in Hungary, and it's called a chimney cake, and they call it. Sorry, my computer's. This would be better if my computer wasn't as huge as it was.
Tordelnik?
No, it's not. It's kut o skalaks, or chimney cakes, are a staple at any Hungarian Christmas market. This popular pastry gets its name from its hollow cylindrical shape. A single strip of sweet raised dough is wrapped around a wooden cylinder rolled in sugar. I believe you might have mentioned this on our Drunchies episode. And it's essentially kind of like imagine a bready kind of elephant ear wrapped to look like a chimney.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you Google Trdelnik? I guarantee you that's what it is.
Well, wait, hold on. Spell it again. Sorry.
TRD.
Yeah.
ELNIK. Trdelnik.
Oh yeah, that is what it is. Yeah.
But see, it's funny. If you ask someone, they sell it all over Prague, everywhere.
Have you had those, by the way? Because you did bring it up on the Crunchy episode.
I have had them. They're good.
What do you think?
They're good, but so some places they just sell you like the sweet dough. I think it's way better because it's hollow in the middle. I've had it with ice cream in the middle.
Okay.
And that is bomb. When it's just come off the roller. Yeah, it's delicious.
There's a huge smile on your face.
It's really good. But what's funny is, from what I've heard, that is a traditional Hungarian food.
So it's their thing.
Yeah, and then they brought it to Prague, and the Czechs are like, okay, we're gonna sell this as authentic Czech food, right?
Right. That's fair. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not fair, but people do that.
Right. Yeah.
Denmark, I don't even know. I've never even seen this letter before, but it's like an A and an E connected, almost like the American Eagle logo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
Bleskiverd.
Can you say that one more time?
Bleskiverd. So, Bleskiverd are it looks like a bowl, and it's a perfect bowl, like maybe the size of a ping pong ball or a golf ball. Mm-hmm. And it is deep fried. It looks like it's deep fried, and it has powdered sugar on top. It looks like there might be chocolate in the middle, but we'll all read about it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Bleskiverd are a favorite holiday dessert among Danes, and are similar to what Americans might call donut holes. Oh, there you go.
All right.
Though bleskiverd literally translate to apple slices, the spherical fried dough dessert doesn't actually contain any apples. This sweet treat is a ubiquitous find at Christmas market. Oh, so it's literally just a donut, fried donut. Which, I mean,
nice.
who's gonna shoot down one of those?
Right, for sure. Sure.
Gingerbread, Switzerland. This looks weird though. Several countries celebrate the holidays with gingerbread, but the Swiss have mastered it. Many cantons produce their own unique version of this holiday treat, and Christmas markets, so it's just gingerbread. The thing about gingerbread is, really depends on where you're getting it from and what form it's coming in. That can be a real hit or miss.
That's true.
I've had some amazing gingerbread, and I've had some garbage, dog trash. I was about to I had to stop myself from swearing. I don't know why I had to stop myself from swearing, but I've had some trash gingerbread as well.
You got some animosity towards that bad gingerbread.
It's just
huh?
it just depends on where it's coming from. I didn't know the Swiss had the market cornered for the gingerbread.
Have you ever had stale gingerbread?
Is that the best way to do it?
Oh no, I think it's awful.
It gets hard. It gets very hard.
Right.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. It's no bueno, that's for sure.
Okay,
Gingerbread, interesting.
Now we're getting to something interesting. Oh wait, it's French. Bouquet de Noël. The French holiday dessert pays homage to the Yule logs. Do you know what a Yule log is?
Not really. I've heard it in Christmas songs.
Yeah, me
but
too.
I don't know what it is.
I used to think it was
I thought
one
it was
of
like
those
a log
logs
in a fireplace.
Me too. I thought it was a log
Okay.
that they used to like get a fire started. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
But I think it might be a dessert. I don't know. I just hear Christmas songs say Yule logs roast or Yule logs. Hey honey, I'll be back. I gotta go drop a Yule log.
A Yule log is a Christmas block or selected log burnt on a hearth as a Christmas tradition in a number of countries in Europe. So we were right. Hit that hamburger, my dude. We were right.
Oh, so I think the French. I think it's maybe this dessert's supposed to look like a Yule log.
Okay.
Pays homage to the Yule logs tradition burned in hearths during the holiday. Rolled up sheets of ice sponge cake are covered with chocolate icing to give the dessert a log-like appearance. Some next-level versions of Bouquet de Noël even have featured icing that resembles bark forest, so you kind of dress it up to make it look like a log.
Right.
And I'll say this:
Interesting.
I'm not. I might have to pass on this one. I might have to, because who doesn't like cake and chocolate, right? Of course, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But the white cake, it just seems like a low level of cake.
Okay, fair enough.
It doesn't seem that exciting to me as far as a dessert goes, even though it is, and just I'm rarely excited by a white cake, especially if it's like a spongy kind of cake like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's usually cheap cake. So the next one is blood sausage with sauerkraut. Where do you think that's from?
Blutwurst. It's
Where do you
from
think-
Germany, isn't it?
Well, it is in Germany, but this is not who's representing it on this list. Brought to you by Fodors, the very popular travel book. Remember? Fodors? It's a very popular travel book.
Okay. Huh.
And now, since it's 2018, they've transferred to the internet.
So do you want me to give you...
It's
like a
Estonia.
place?
Forget it.
Oh, really? Estonia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize you just weren't going to say anything.
You had me a little
Thanks
confused
for playing
there, but
along.
yeah.
Halloween
Estonia,
may have passed, but you're going to want to sink your teeth into the esteemed Estonian Christmas dish. True to their name, these sausages contain the fresh pig's blood, plus a mixture of pork, barley, and local spices like marjoram. These hearty black links usually come with a sidekick of pork simmered. They use a different font that I can't read. Hapukapsas, Estonian sauerkraut, and sometimes a dollop of lingonberry jam. How do you feel about the blood sausage?
I'm gonna say hit that shotgun.
You're not a fan?
Nope. Blood sausage freaks me out.
Have you ever had it before?
I haven't.
I haven't either, but I'm not. I never feel compelled to.
Me either.
Also,
Me
I'm
either.
not a huge fan of sauerkraut.
I didn't like it until I was about 25.
Okay, I mean that's not that long ago. I can always handle if there's like a dollop of it on the side, that's fine. And sometimes it's nice to get it like a little bit into a fork of it maybe, but I'm really not I'm happy to not have it there at all. So
Okay,
I might
enough.
have to shotgun that one as well.
I like it with certain things. It has to go well with whatever you're eating it with. Otherwise, I can't
Right.
do sauerkraut.
Smoked cheese. Where do you think this is from?
Smoked cheese.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the actual word for it in the native language.
Okay.
In my, dialect. Oskipek. Oskipek. I'm going to guess it's Oskipek.
Is it Swedish?
No, it's Poland.
Oh, Poland. Okay.
Oskipek is homemade sheep's milk produced only by qualified shepherds in the Polish Highlands. Shepherds start the lengthy process by turning fresh milk into fresh cheese and later hand-carved, spindle-shaped molds give the cheese the famous ornamental shape. So the cheese actually looks like they look like ornaments. They almost kind of look like like pierogies, but with like texturing to them.
Mm-hmm.
They actually look delicious. Some of them look delicious. Some of them look gross. I'd give that a taste. And if they're served warm, then give that a double taste. Double ham horn.
You know what's a really popular dish here in the Czech Republic? Is fried cheese.
How do you eat it?
Fork and knife. It looks almost like a
cheese curd or something.
No, it looks like a square cheese curd.
Okay. Have you had it?
Oh yeah, it's really good.
What do you think? You're a fan?
I'm a fan. Yeah.
I mean, it's just what we've learned. If we've learned anything in all this time we've been on this earth, is nothing is ruined by being deep fried.
Right.
Things can only be improved through a deep fry.
That's true. That is true.
No, I mean, people deep fry, like there are carnivals in like Oklahoma and shit in Texas that serve deep fried butter.
And deep fried Oreos, all
deep
sorts
fried
of deep fried
Oreos,
stuff.
yeah, deep fried pickles, obviously. That's a commonplace. That's not even weird.
Oh, yeah, fried pickles are delicious.
You know what I found out recently? That in movie theaters in Texas, they serve popcorn and like they serve your stuff with a pickle. Like it's common to serve and order pickles at movie theaters in Texas, and it was confirmed by people saying, "Yep." So it's not really, this is one step above meme news. For all I know, it could be a bunch of Russian bots putting that out there.
Right.
But apparently the pickles are commonplace. And anyway, roasted peanut, chestnuts. They say Portugal, but those are all over.
I'd say those are good.
I could do without them.
Okay, fair enough.
So I don't hate them, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to order them. But like if someone else ordered them and they want to offer me one, I'll take one, sure. But it's like
okay, fair enough.
Smoked reindeer.
Oh wow, that's got to be like Norway or somewhere, right?
You're close.
Finland, Norway,
close.
Sweden.
There you go. And it's literally smoked reindeer, and looks like they serve it here on a fancy Triscuit with a little tiny piece of lettuce on top. And it's just smoked. It's smoked. How smoked meat is prepared.
Right.
And it's just a little slivers, slices of reindeer, and then they put it, as I said, on that little fancy Triscuit.
That might be good.
I'd give it a taste, but I'm not a huge fan of like smoked meats like that. That's not my favorite way of consuming meats.
Okay, that's fair.
Christmas fruit bread.
That's Germany, isn't it? Weihnachtsstollen?
Well, they say Austria here, but it probably could be Germany as well. Okay. Is that essentially just bread with walnuts and cranberries?
Isn't it like fruitcake?
Yeah, maybe. It looks more bready than fruitcake, though. By the way, fruitcake is garbage. People need
fruitcake's gross.
Whoever gives fruitcake at this point is just an asshole. Yeah, I could do without the fruit bread.
Yeah, me too.
Like I like a nice bread that has like a loaf of bread that has cranberries and nuts in it.
Mm-hmm.
But that I don't once it starts going into the fruit cakey kind of more cake territory, I'm out. But I like it like if it's like a nice hearty bread. Mm-hmm. My parents from time to time at the Whole Foods they like this bread that's like walnuts and cranberries, but it's like a normal loaf of bread. It's not like a cakey kind of thing.
Right.
Feuer Zangenbowle. Bowle. Wait, so it's German, and it's Bowle. But are they saying bowl?
Huh. Maybe, because
that wouldn't make any sense if it's Bowle, which is, Bowle? And they wouldn't say bowl. They wouldn't spell bowl like that.
Is this from Germany?
Yeah, it says it's from Germany. I've never heard of it either.
Me either.
Feuer Zangenbowle.
I've never heard of it.
But I'm going to assume it's Bola because Bovla would not be a word. Like, I can't imagine that being a word. Look it up, yeah. I'll tell you what they say here, though. Directly translating to fire tongs punch. The flashy German The flashy German holiday drink is prepared by lighting a sugar loaf on fire. What's a sugar loaf? Maybe a sugar cube is what they mean by sugar loaf?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
On fire above a warming pot of...
it's Feuerzangenbowle.
Among a pot of mulled wine. The caramelized sugar then melts and drips into the pot below. Personalized portions of the Feuerzangenbowle are made in contraptions that resemble fondue pots, though Christmas markets crowds call for large metal basins. Don't be surprised if the big dancing flames draw in a curious crowd. I'm going to give that a strong... That sounds awesome to watch, and I like the fact that they're adding sugar to my wine.
Right. Yeah, that would be cool. I'll have to look around for that, see if I can find it anywhere.
Prague ham.
I've never tried it. I also try to avoid it because I've heard that they kind of will... Most places, unless you go further out in Prague, if you're in any of the touristy places, it's really, really expensive.
Okay. Because it's just a big piece of ham that's roasted on a rotisserie style. It looks like, and I mean, just looking at it, I said a couple episodes ago, I'm not a ham guy, but that looks delicious.
Right. It does look good. I've walked by and it definitely looks good.
Minced pies. Are you familiar with minced pies, the British dessert?
I've never had them. No.
They are delicious. I'm going to give that.
Really? Okay. And what exactly are they?
You would like it too, so I'm going to give that for you too. So what it is a small little personal pie, and in it, it's Wait, hold on. So there are two different kinds. The dessert. Let me just read what they say. The dessert can be a confusing concept for travelers who don't know that Brits refer to ground beef as mince. With early versions of the Christmas tree did in fact contain... Okay, we'll see. Wait, contain sweetened ground... Hold on. Okay. This is... Sorry, I'm like questioning their writing and not just... What they're saying makes sense. The dessert can be a confusing concept for travelers who don't know that Brits refer to ground beef as mince. While early versions of the Christmas tree did in fact contain sweetened and spiced ground meat, usually mutton. That sounds disgusting. Today's versions always sub in autumn fruits like figs, apples, raisins, and dried cherries. Still, vegetarians be warned, the fruity mincemeat often contains sweat, a hard animal fat. So it's essentially probably just lard, I assume they're saying.
Right, I would think so,
So it's essentially just like a little personalized like fruity pies. And just the mix of like nutmeg and cinnamon and all that stuff, they're very delicious. But yeah, mince also doesn't mean mutton and different and like, but there is no meat in there.
It means ground, right? Minced.
Yeah, that's in English. I think that's an American thing. Minced meat means ground beef.
Right.
But yeah, I like those very much. Have you heard of something called aquavit?
Mm-mm.
It's from Norway, and there's nothing like a nice shot of aquavit to help warm you up while wandering through Norway's Christmas market. At its core, this high-proof spirit is similar to gin and is made by distilling alcohol with such herbs as caraway or dill, orange peel, fennel, and anise, and popular flavoring additions. While all Scandinavian countries have their own version of aquavit, Norwegian aquavit stands out as it undergoes oak barrel aging and is commonly made from potatoes instead of grain.
Okay.
I would happily do a Christmas market forgluen with some aquavit.
Oh, for sure.
I'd be down
sounds
for that.
Good. That sounds good.
Yeah,
definitely.
And then the last one is churros with chocolate in Spain. And who's going to say no to that?
Right, that would be delicious. I love churros as they are, so yeah, that would be great.
And there's like a hot chocolate dipping sauce. Which is, who's going to say no to that?
Right,
I don't even need to read that.
So what, do you have like a favorite thing that you've eaten at Christmas markets?
Yes. Spätzle, for sure.
I might have to also be lame and copy you.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Well, you know how much I love currywurst, but I don't really consider that like a Christmas market type of food.
Right. And I just love the way that they cook it too, because it's made in this giant skillety, this giant wide mouth skillet.
Yeah.
And it's always, and just the way that the skillet is set up, like there's never it's never coming off it's always hot. Somehow they managed to make it so it's always hot. What are some other if we were in Vienna in between the Natural History Museum and whatever museum is on the other side, I can't remember what it is.
The art museum?
What would be some popular food choices other than the Spätzle? I can't even think, because I always just beeline it to the Spätzle, and people are like, let's share. I'll be like, how about you get your own, because I'm gonna wolf this down I've just got out of prison.
I mean, obviously the roasted almonds. You'll see those.
Oh my God, I love those too.
Yeah, the roasted almonds, you'll see those. I'm trying to think what else. A lot of it was Spätzle. I was at one of them. They sold. I believe this is also Hungarian. It's called langos. Have you ever heard of this before?
No.
It's like a deep fried piece of dough they put cheese on it, or sometimes they'll put meat on it as well, like ham or something. And that's really good. I saw that in Vienna one time at Christmas market.
Yeah,
a couple different types of sausage.
I feel like I could pass on that.
Right, definitely a couple different types of sausage. I got some really good Käsekreiner.
Oh my God, dude!
What?
I'm so glad I thought of this. A close second to the Spätzle. I'm not a huge fan of the Käsekreiner, by the way. A close second to the Spätzle for me are the potato pancakes. What do you call those? The
Kartoffelpuffer. Kartoffelpuffer, yeah.
Those are amazing. And those usually really come with a little side of
applesauce, right?
Applesauce and sour cream. And those are good as well. But the Spätzle has more flavor to it because it's not just a potato. But you also can't go wrong with just essentially a giant French fry. You know?
Right. That's true.
And those are always good too. And those are commonplace at a lot of Christmas markets, I would believe.
Yeah, I would think so. The other thing that I tried at one of the Christmas markets in Vienna, I only saw it at one of them. It's called Gröstel. Have you ever heard of it before?
No.
So what Gröstel is it's it's also in a huge pan like Spätzle is. This big ass black pan, right? And they dice up potatoes, put some type of herb, I think maybe olive oil or some type of oil, excuse me, and then also bacon and a fried egg, and it's really good.
Okay, I can get down with that. I like all those ingredients by themselves.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
One that was kind of off the beaten path a little bit, I remember from Vienna. I don't know if do you remember this? It was in front of the Rathaus, was it? There was a Christmas market there as well. And they had a build-your-own baked potato station.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
That place was amazing, and you could go over the top so easily. Right. You could so easily just, I would, and I don't know if that's a normal Christmas market thing, but it was amazing. And I was happy to
it was a good business plan.
Build a baked potato. It was great.
Right.
That was one of my favorites, but that's obviously not a traditional Christmas market thing.
Right. I'll have to do some serious looking when I'm there.
Dude, I'm so jealous.
We'll have
I'm almost anxious to get the donos, or if they have Spätzle, which they might even have Spätzle here.
They might. Yeah, and it might be good.
I mean, they do have the Dutch influence, so there's at least something.
Well, you do realize that's actually German influence and not Dutch, right? Even though they call it Pennsylvania Dutch, it's actually the descendants are from Germany, not from the Netherlands.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
It's because Dutch and Deutsch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's confusing.
So that's why. It is. It definitely is.
I did not know that. So that's why they say things like Goot.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, all right, what about this? Are you a bigger Glühwein or mulled wine guy, or a punch guy?
Glühwein, I would say.
Okay.
A little less sweet.
Yeah, definitely. It just tastes like Christmas to me. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a little bit more. It seems a little bit like it seems. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Like the punch seems more generic.
Right. Oh yeah, I would agree.
And there's always some sort of and the punch always comes out of, at least when you're in Germany, it always comes out of a smaller bucket too. Right. It's always like, oh, you're gonna get that one. Okay. Well, we have the Glühwein's in this giant thing because that's what everyone wants. And then we have a smaller punch one for someone like you.
I had really good. This was interesting. So they also sell Glühwein here in the Czech Republic, and they call it Svářák, and Svářák is the same thing. But they had white wine Glühwein. It was good.
Okay.
It was good. I didn't think it was going to be good, but I saw it on the menu, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it.
That's bold of you.
It didn't taste like punch. It was still fruity, but it still had like that slightly spiced wine taste to it that Glühwein has.
I feel like you need more of like the fruitiness of like the more hearty fruitiness of a red grape to really make the heated wine work well.
Right.
But what do I know? I've never made it. I just buy it.
Right. And you can buy it now at Aldi in the States because I have a couple.
You've bought it before. I remember you bought it when we were in Austria.
Yep. Well, yeah, you can buy it in Austria and Germany. You can buy it here. I've seen it here as well. Yeah.
Do you have any gift ideas for people you're going to buy at Christmas markets and like for maybe people in America?
Ironically, I am going to be going to Christmas markets, I think, to get most of my Christmas gifts.
Do you have any ideas? No one listens to this.
Couple little knickknacks probably for my mom. For my dad, I'm actually going to try to find my dad. You know my dad. He likes to wear sweatshirts. So I'm going to try to find him a sweatshirt of something cool in Prague.
Everybody knows that about Chad's dad. He loves sweatshirts.
Right. He does. He loves sweatshirts. So I'm going to get him a sweatshirt, and then I'm not sure what else I'm going to grab, but I'll have to see.
Okay.
I'll have to see. I'm really going to the Christmas markets for that Svářák, and the food. Yeah, the wine and the food. You know it.
I'm with you on that one too.
And it's pretty cheap usually. You know, the food's not too bad of a price. The wine that I got in Prague was I think $2 about.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
So
that's more than not bad. That's great. $2.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Well, Jared, do you have anything to add for our Christmas market segment?
No. You know, I say that I'm not like, you know, I could take or leave Christmas almost. But it is nice. It is always nice to have the Christmas markets to at least just walk through and to give you that like kind of that's the form of Christmas spirit I need. Just like in like an hour or two bursts where it's like, all right, I'm good. And and it's nice to like walk by and see that Christmas tree, which you'll see on Instagram, the picture of the Christmas tree. I got a great shot of the Christmas tree.
Very nice.
And you know, I like it, but you know, I feel like I also just need to try. Sometimes I need to try not to be too negative during the Christmas season.
That's fair. Sadly, there's a lot to be negative about, but there's always a silver lining, and you get to ideally spend some more time with your family.
Yeah, depending on who wins this fight, me or Kayak, price alerts.
Right.
Like, sorry, Mom, I'm not going to come home. Turns out flights are now $1,000. I waited too long.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. Well, I hope you can get that flight at that good price so you can spend time with your family for Christmas, Jared.
I think it'll be fine. Thank you.
Another thing about Christmas that we've talked about a little bit is Christmas music. And, you know, I had to pick a Christmas song for this song of the pod.
Yeah.
And I initially wanted to do Silent Night in German because that's how it was originally written. But then I realized, you know what? I'm especially biased towards German because I love the language and I, you know, studied it in college and in graduate school. But I decided, you know what? There's a lot of listeners out there that aren't fans of German. So maybe we need to change it up. And I found if you go just on YouTube and look up Silent Night foreign languages, I found some videos that were over 30 minutes long and sung in like 20 different languages. Christ. And I was like, you know, that's cool, but I want something that's a little shorter, a little sweeter. I found this amazing video by this Finnish girl named Ilon, or Ilon, I-L-O-N. And she sings it in Spanish, English, Finnish, and Swedish. And what were your thoughts, Jared?
I mean, she's a good singer. She has a nice voice. I noticed that she uses a Blue Yeti microphone. I think that's what every amateur podcast wishes their Blue Yeti microphone quality actually sounded like, rather than them talking into a tin can, which it usually sounds like.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing with Christmas music, though. Honestly, I didn't even listen to the whole song. I listened to like a good bit of it. I was like, I get it. I like all this Christmas music is the same to me. I want some new Christmas music. Where does one find new Christmas music?
You got to write it yourself, my man.
Email, tweet, the Untranslatable Podcast, Untranslatable1, untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. Tell us where Christmas music for the 21st century is. I'm just so sick of the same Christmas music redone. I'm already not a huge fan of covers as it is. We're covering music that my parents have been hearing since they were born. That my grandparents were like, oh yeah, everyone knows this old ditty. Who doesn't love this one?
Sounds like you're waiting for some dubstep Christmas music or something.
It doesn't have to be dubstep. Yeah, just wait for the beat to drop. By the way, dubstep was popular for like a year and a half. And do people still listen to dubstep? I don't hear anything about dubstep anymore.
Probably. I bet you they do.
I mean, it's probably just more underground now, but you don't really hear much about dubstep these days. At least I don't.
Yeah,
I don't travel in those circles.
I was just gonna say neither of us are in that type of circle. That's for sure.
No.
But yeah. But anyways, if you do enjoy Christmas music, I think it's fantastic. Are you
gonna add it to I was gonna say your playlist, but I'm gonna add it to the our playlist, so it'll be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's cool that it's in different languages, which is one of the main reasons why I picked it. She has an amazing voice. To me, I think sometimes with Christmas music, it comes off too clean and like heavily produced and like almost like mass manufactured or mass produced. And to me, she still had a lot of.
Excuse me, I just croaked. That's the benefit of the Blue Yeti. Definitely won't sound too overproduced. Well, I don't know why I'm shitting on this microphone. So
I don't know why either, but I think her voice sounds great.
I just hate podcasts that use Blue Yetis because it don't they listen to it and hear that it sound like that? I don't know.
I didn't realize it. I didn't even realize
it sounds good. Hers sounds good. That's what I'm saying. I think that's what. It's just my annoyance with podcasts. This is podcasting, but no, hers does sound good. I agree with you. Her audio did sound good.
Yeah, very nice voice, very expressive. So check that out, and you can hear Silent Night in a couple different languages, which I think is awesome.
Yeah,
to support the polyglots.
Do you ever play Christmas music at like family get-togethers, just in the background for your family?
I have before in the past. I don't anymore. I jokingly will tell friends or family whenever they ask me to play. I say, all right, well, how much are you going to pay me? And they always chuckle, and I'm always like, I studied music. Technically, I could charge you for this.
Right.
Kind of just as a stupid joke, but yeah, it depends. I'm hoping to
stupid joke, but then I don't play.
Right. So I guess it's not a joke, but yeah. But I'm hoping to do some Christmas carols and Christmas songs with my I teach an English for Kids class.
By caroling, do you mean showing up at people's doorsteps?
No. Just us singing some Christmas carols in the class. Because the school is empty by the time the kids come in, so we wouldn't have anybody to sing to.
Right.
But yeah. Well, the beauty of Christmas is there's also a lot of good Christmas jokes. I don't have any originals for you all today, but I found some pretty funny ones on a couple different websites. So Jared, we talked about gingerbread being a food staple of some Christmas markets, and can you tell me what does a gingerbread man use to make his bed?
Used to make his bed. All I can think of is the Shrek gingerbread man. Not the gumdrop button. That's all I can think of.
The
so
Muffin
I don't
Man?
Know. Do you know?
No
I don't
guesses?
know. What is it? No.
So what does a gingerbread use to make his bed? He uses cookie sheets.
Oh, all right.
I like that one.
Yeah.
What do snowmen? This is more of a winter one than a Christmas one. But what do snowmen eat for breakfast?
Snow.
Frosted Flakes.
Okay.
You need to get a sound drop that's like the.
Oh my God. Yeah, I should. I could do that.
That would be good.
Hopefully I remember, but yeah, I could do that.
What do you get when you cross a snowman with a vampire?
A snowman with a vampire. I don't know.
Frostbite.
I almost feel I don't even I feel like I need to say something and not just say like, all right, next one with silence. But I have little to offer. Keep going.
That's okay. I got a couple more. I got a couple more. Don't worry. Why can't a Christmas tree stand up? This is more of a pun than or no, it's not really a pun. This is a joke, I guess.
Because it's an atheist.
No, because it doesn't have legs.
Okay.
Right.
Well, how is it a pun?
It's not a pun.
Oh, okay.
It's not a pun. I realized it wasn't a pun after I read the punchline. Anyways, what do you call an obnoxious reindeer?
Rudolphing around. I'm just
Rudolph. Yeah, Rudolph. Like they're being rude. You got it.
Oh, that's not even what I was thinking. I was just, mine wasn't even that clever.
What is Santa's favorite snack?
Mrs. Claus.
Ooh, I like that one.
That's for our adults. That's for the grown and sexy part of our audience.
That's true. Crisp Pringles.
What?
Because it's like Kris Kringle, crisp Pringles.
Oh my God. Okay, that was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good.
All right, and my last one is, what do you call people who are afraid of Santa Claus?
Bad.
Claustrophobic.
Naughty. Oh. All right, that's a Gias. That's not good, but I can't help but laugh at that.
Right, that is a pretty solid one. But
wow,
yeah.
You really had rapid fire on those jokes.
I did. A lot of good Christmas jokes out there. Well, Jared, now it's time to give our listeners out there a Czech word of the pod. And I have a couple of them, and they are very important for this time of the year. The first one is Šťastně a veselé, which means it's just a traditional Christmas greeting. And
what does that mean? Traditional Christmas greeting.
It means like
hello,
happy
Christmas.
It means like happy.
Oh, like Merry Christmas.
Happy and merry. But what a lot of people also say is Veselé Vánoce, which is more or less a direct translation of Merry Christmas. Okay. Vánoce is Christmas, I believe.
All right.
Veselé would be merry. But a lot of people just say Šťastně a veselé.
Okay. Šťastně a veselé.
Yep. So now all of our listeners out there
are you going to throw that around at work to people?
When it gets closer to Christmas, absolutely. You better believe it. Well, Jared, it's come time to end our episode with a quote. And I thought this was a really great quote. A little cheesy and a little corny, as you know, I always love and enjoy. But here it is. It's from a guy named Bob Hope, who was a comedian, writer, did a lot of different things. And his quote is, "My idea of Christmas, whether old-fashioned or modern, is very simple: loving others."
Yeah,
Jared, let's hang alongside.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, too bad Christmas has lost that meaning long ago.
True. Well, hopefully in the future we can change it. Yeah, you're right. It is all about the gifts. But as you said, as you get older, I think that changes a lot.
Yeah, but you still have to bring the gifts regardless.
I wonder if anybody does a giftless Christmas.
Oh, I'm sure.
That might be a little sad, though, too. I don't know. I mean,
don't think... Why?
Like, if you have little kids...
Did you not just listen to what Bob Hope just said?
That's true.
All you need is the love.
I'm thinking, though, if you have little kids. If it was all adults...
Hey, if those kids are going to complain that much, they don't deserve any gifts. They don't understand what... They need to learn what it's about.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think those snotty kids, the more they complain, the more you're justified not to give them any gifts.
Right, that's true.
This is how they learn.
That's true. In the
Merry
words
Christmas,
of the Beatles... Timmy. Right. In the words of the Beatles, I guess all you really need is love, right?
Yeah. For Christmas, you can wash these dishes.
That's right. Or you go pick me up some more spätzle from the Christmas market.
Go shovel the driveway. Merry Christmas.
Go hang up the Christmas lights. Well, those are probably already hung up. I guess that example doesn't work.
No. Take them down on Christmas Day.
And
Your
then
Christmas
put them
gift
back up.
is taking down the Christmas lights on Christmas Day.
Man,
putting them back up.
That would be brutal. But yeah, to all of our listeners out there, we hope you all are having a very happy and healthy holiday season. Mm-hmm. We hope you can also spread the love to others during this Christmas or holiday time. We really appreciate your support. Please follow us on Instagram at Untranslatable Podcast. Check out our Songs of the Pod and Jared's witty tweets at our Twitter account, Untranslatable1. And if you have anything you would like to add about holiday season, Christmas markets, untranslatables, we would love to hear you. Feel free to shoot us an email at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. We thank you so much. Until next time, and dziękujemy.